Welcome to this episode of Our College, Your Voices. I'm your host, Kara Monroe. In episode 127, we learned some initial details about a developing partnership between Martin University and Ivy Tech. Martin and Ivy Tech have continued their unique partnership, creating specific pipelines to help Ivy Tech graduates find bachelor's programs to take their next educational step towards a career. Academic programs in this partnership include education and cyber entrepreneurship. The two institutions are also sharing resources to find funders for scholarships, engaging the new Martin Center for Racial Equity and Inclusion, and collecting and analyzing student data to identify candidates for programs. Martin has a variety of ways to support transfer, including Martin Works, and great interest from funders to help grow the program. I am really excited to have the two folks that really know the very most about this partnership as my guests today. And the first is Dr. Marcus Kolb. Hi, Marcus. Would you please tell folks what your role is, please?
Sure. I'm the Assistant Vice President for Assessment of Student Learning and Academic Quality and Accreditation at Ivy Tech. I work in the systems office. I'm also serving as a loaned executive to Martin University right now to help foster this partnership that, as you said, we spoke about a year ago and have much to talk about today.
And our other guest today is Dr. Sean Huddleston. Welcome back, Sean.
Kara, it is a pleasure to join you again. Thanks for inviting me.
My pleasure. And would you tell folks what your role is, please?
Sure. I am the fifth president of Martin University.
Very good. And would you remind, as we start out today, we've got some questions, but I'd love for you to remind folks of who Martin is and what makes Martin unique in Indiana's educational ecosystem.
Sure. Well, that's unfortunately, I wish we had probably 3 days for me to go through my long story about Martin. But the short answer is that Martin was founded in 1977 as Indiana's only predominantly Black institution of higher education, different from an HBCU in that all PBIs were founded after the Civil Rights Act of 1964, whereas HBCUs were founded before the Civil Rights Act of 1964. But we essentially have always served the same populations. One thing that is unique about Martin University is we were actually founded to try to address the first generation phenomenon that was happening amongst students of color, families of color, communities of color, and low-income communities, I would say, certainly in the 70s and still exists today with higher education. And that is that no one in the family or the community had gone to college before those students. And so the idea that was brought forth by our founders, Father Boniface Harton and Sister Jane Schilling, was to create an institution that would help to educate and train the parents and caregivers of students who could create that college-going culture in families and in communities, and then ultimately result in students coming out of high school and going straight into college. And that's a population that we've largely focused on since our founding, even up through today.
My first question really for today's official episode, I always love to hear that though, Sean, because I learn something new about Martin's history too, every time you do that. So someday you and I are going to have to do that long conversation about Martin.
Yeah, I've got to send you a book. I've got a book that will.
I would love that. I would love that.
You got it.
Would you tell us about Martin Works and how it can help students who are considering transferring from Ivy Tech to Martin?
Absolutely. So we came up with the concept of Martin Works about a year and a half ago. What we learned was that when our students come to the university, they really are betting on themselves, and they're investing, in some cases, money that they don't have, and that that higher education would be able to change their earning potential and the economic trajectory of their families. They recognize that coming into a school like Martin University would give them a credential that they could take to the marketplace and increase their opportunity for career advancement and ultimate earnings for their families and for themselves. The challenge was that they don't necessarily have the 4 years or the 2 years that it takes to be able to get the degree and then be introduced. And so the concept of Martin Works is to get people to their careers much sooner. We looked at various models around the country, and we landed on a model called the Urban Work College model that was pioneered by Paul Quinn College in Dallas, Texas. And it was essentially ensuring that students had the opportunity to get real work and career experience as they were completing their degrees in work environments outside of the campus. And so we knew that that worked for traditional age students. We just weren't sure if it worked for non-traditional college age students. So we decided to put it to the test. And fortunately, it has worked. The program is compiled of three pillars. One is career, the other is academics, and the third is community service. We seek to ensure that students have those work experiences embedded in their academic experience. And we do that through apprenticeships with some of our employer partners. We wanted it to be an apprenticeship and not an internship because we thought internships didn't go deep enough. We really wanted it to be an experience that would result in a full-time opportunity for students after they graduate from Martin University. And so students do these internships that are 15 to 20 hours a week with an employer in their field of study, and they get paid for that time. The average pay is about $18 an hour, but we have some that will go up to about $25 an hour, again, in their fields of study, and with an understanding with that employer that we would hope that they would hire our students in full-time after they complete the apprenticeship. We also make sure that our employers have the opportunity to work with and connect with our faculty so that what students are learning on the job, they actually experience or learn more about in the classroom, and really vice versa. So it's a way to make sure that we're aligning what students are learning in real time with what they're actually going to be doing in the workplace. The last piece of it, the community service side of it, is really to make sure that as a servant leader-based institution, we want our students to feel an obligation and a commitment to serving in their communities and taking all of the experiences and the skills and the opportunities that are being presented to them back to their community so we can uplift each other.
So, Sean, I know you celebrated a big event this week, which is the release of your strategic plan. And it happened on Dr. King's birthday, Martin Luther King Day. I'd love for you to share some more about that strategic plan that I know you've been working very hard on for the last year.
Our strategic plan, our 5-year strategic plan will launch on MLK Day this year. So MLK Day 2022 and go through MLK Day of 2027. The significance of that, Kara, is that one of the people who Martin University is named for is Martin Luther King. So we felt that it was pretty significant that we launch on the day in which his birthday is being celebrated. And it will culminate in 2027, which is the 50th year anniversary for Martin University. So there's another point of significance. And it focuses on 6 key areas. And I really believe that the Ivy Tech partnership really falls into each one of those areas. The first is outreach and enrollment. We believe that Martin University could and should be a destination for Ivy Tech graduates who are looking to now move on to a 4-year degree. I think we've agreed that in many ways we serve the same student. And so through our partnership and through the great help of Marcus Kolb, we've been able to understand more about the culture and the types of amenities and services and supports that Ivy Tech offers wonderfully to their students. And we want to mimic some of that at Martin University as well. So it really feels like a seamless transfer process. So that first area of outreach and enrollment, we really feel that Martin could be a destination for those students. The second area of focus for our strategic plan is on academic affairs. We have an academic master plan that includes the development and introduction of new academic programs. Some of those programs will be introduced and developed in partnership with Ivy Tech, such as the Cyber Entrepreneurship Program, which combines business and cybersecurity, a fast-track program for people who want to become teachers through our education programs. So there's a connection there. The third area of focus for the strategic plan is workforce alignment. I've told you about Martin Works program. I know that Ivy Tech also has a CCEC program. And so we want to make sure that the two are aligned so that students who are participating in work-based learning at Ivy Tech have the same opportunity, and in some cases with the same employers, to move that on to Martin University. The fourth area is student success and engagement. That is all about how we serve our students and provide those wraparound supports to our students and provide the right amenities for those students. So again, building upon the good foundations that Ivy Tech puts in place and how you serve and support your students, we want to do the same things for those students when they come to Martin University. The fifth area for our strategic plan, is how we built the institutional capacity to be able to serve those students well. That goes with how we look at our the services and the resources that we have at the university. One of the key areas of focus is finding ways to expand our capacity through collaborations and consortium opportunities. We've already been speaking with Ivy Tech about co-building courses and programs. We believe that there's an opportunity for Ivy Tech faculty to also teach in an adjunct capacity at Martin University as well. So I think there are ways for us to make that connection. And then the last area of focus is on community outreach and Martin University being a university, a university that is in, of, and for the community. And what better partner than a community college for a community university to connect with? So I think Ivy Tech and Martin University are aligned in every aspect of our strategic plan.
That rolls off your tongue so smoothly, Sean. It's as if you've been talking about it for years.
Well, I get a chance to be surrounded by great people like you and Kara, so it makes it very easy for me to talk about.
Well, and Sean, I hear so many pieces in your strategic plan that align with Ivy Tech, so I really can see where those direct partnership opportunities lie. So, Sean, you started to lay out that communiversity concept. Why else, and what about that concept makes Martin the place that students should consider over other potential destinations in the central Indiana region? Sort of who's the best student for Martin, and who is Martin the best institution for?
The probably the easy answer is Martin is a great institution for any student. But I would say certainly those students who have a desire, a passion, and a background for serving others. We certainly have several programs, academic programs, that allow folks to be able to achieve whatever their hopes and desires are from a career perspective. But what is unique about the Martin University student and a graduate is their connection to something bigger than themselves. We believe that as a community, that is a role that is important for us to play as well. We are very strategically dedicated to the 46218 zip code in the Martindale-Brightwood community. We all know that is one of the most probably underserved communities, but I would say also one of the most underestimated communities as well. And so we believe that if we can create excellence in that community and have that excellence personified through our students and through our partnerships, then people may change some of the preconceived notions or perceptions that they might have. Our students come to us with some of those same preconceived notions and conceptions placed upon them, things that were not earned by them, but certainly just thought of who they are. But then when we get a chance to show the world who our students really are, then minds change. And so we want to make sure that we're continuously not just helping people beat the odds, but change the odds.
Absolutely.
As I've been sitting in meetings with my friends at Martin, one of the things that's jumped out to me that sets them apart is the opportunity for students to really have a highly personalized experience. This is a place where people all the way up to the provost and the president know the students' names. I know the provost visits every classroom. There's a chance to make connection there that doesn't exist at many other institutions that I've worked at. And there's a set of students out there that would serve really well, that they would be recognized as individuals and treated that way. It's something that all institutions strive for, understanding how important it is to student success. But I see it in action in Martin in ways that I'm not sure every other institution is able to make real.
Marcus, that's an important point. Thank you. We're not a large institution by design. We probably will never be a super duper large institution because we believe in investing in our students and providing them with as much personal attention, and we give them an entire team. So when one person comes to Martin University, they don't just get an admissions advisor or a financial aid counselor or even one faculty member. They get a team of people who will wrap around them and help to walk side by side with them until they cross that stage.
That's beautiful. So where do we expect the partnership to grow this spring specifically as we look at the next? We all measure our lives in semesters. As we look at the next semester, where do we expect the partnership to grow?
Well, I think Marcus and the team have really done an exceptional job of really kind of figuring out what we need to do to make sure that the foundations are there so that this partnership can truly be successful. Marcus has helped to connect us at Martin with a lot of people, important people at Ivy Tech to make those things happen. He's done a fantastic job of not just building the relationships, but really helping everybody understand the value proposition of the partnership. And so my hat is forever off to Marcus for the work that he's been doing with us there. Now that we have the foundations in place, I think we have to now fill the pipeline more. And so we've been successful in going out, getting some employers and businesses to also believe in this partnership and make investment in the partnership. We're very excited, for example, that Eli Lilly contributed funds that created a scholarship that's specific to students graduating from Ivy Tech and transferring to Martin University. And that scholarship defrays their cost of attendance, basically takes about, I think, a little bit over 45% out of the per credit hour costs of attendance for their entire time at Martin University. So for the 60 credit hours that they need to complete for their bachelor's degree, they're going to get a 45%, I believe the number is 45% discount, which is significant. And that is thanks to our good friends at Eli Lilly. Duke Energy has also stepped up and provided a similar scholarship for students at Ivy Tech campuses that might be outside of Marion County, but in the Duke service territories. So there's just a groundswell of support that's coming from the business community and others for our partnership. And we're so thankful for that. So I think the next step is to really get some students in the door. So what they're hearing today about there's a great experience, to actually be able to benefit from it and experience it themselves.
That to me reads loud and clear, Sean, as a sort of call to action for the folks that are listening here, in that if you are working with students who are thinking about their next educational step and they're trying to figure out where that might be, what they might do, that we would want folks that are listening here to point them to Martin and have them think deeply about that, understanding that we have spots for them. We have ways to support them financially. We have excellence in academic programs that will prepare them for the workforce alongside Martin Works and the things that the university's doing to help position them well as, in the world of work. So, when you think about what can I do here or how can I be involved and support the partnership, it's finding those students that are indicating interest about that next step and helping them find their way to Martin, or to somebody at Ivy Tech that knows about the partnership that can help them find their way to Martin. Because we have open seats for these folks, right? We're ready and looking forward to getting them engaged and moving forward.
We do have we have a space on the Indianapolis campus that we will have some folks staffed there that can answer questions for students as they might come by and just have any inquiries about what it would mean to transfer to Martin, or, what the experience would be like. We always welcome any student who wants to come by and just give us a test ride, come by and take a look at the campus, take a look at our classes, meet our faculty members, meet some other students. We're always open to that for sure.
And we're going to try and deploy some Martin leadership into some specific classrooms on the Indianapolis campus to talk about the partnership in particular fields, education, cybersecurity, where we know transfer will be smooth and easy and teed up for success, to help those students become more aware of the opportunities at Martin. But, we would welcome an opportunity to come to talk to any group of students who might overlap with interest in Martin, and tell them the story and what opportunities are already on the table for them if they too are thinking about transfer. There's many directions that they can take their education at Martin to finish that bachelor's degree.
We talked about a year ago, and we're talking now. We already talked about sort of the short term. If we talk another year from now, what do you think we'll be talking about at that point? What are we not yet exploring that we want to explore longer term?
Well, I think from my vantage point, I think we will have more information about the success rates and levels of Ivy Tech transfer students to Martin University. We'll be able to really know the things that work well, and quite frankly, look at the things that we might need to work on a little bit more so that we can make sure that there is an outstanding experience and seamless experience for those students. I think we'll also be talking about more programs that we'll be developing jointly, and more ways that Ivy Tech and Martin University will be able to collaborate. So I think that, we're off to a great start, but we're just at the beginning.
Yeah, I'm hoping we are talking a little bit more, certainly growth and inclusion and numbers of students. But when we hit that critical mass where we really want to see free movement between the two institutions of students, maybe taking some courses in their first couple of years at Martin as well as at Ivy Tech, and then finishing at Martin, or using services on the Ivy Tech campuses or on the Martin campuses, even though they are officially a student of the other institution, right? I mean, I think, again, your word communiversity comes to mind, Sean, where maybe we're looking at institutions that are partnered across so many different levels that at points they kind of blur together, which certainly would benefit the students, but it would also benefit the institutions who have a lot to learn from each other across all of our different functional areas.
Yeah, I think, we may be also talking about the need to send 10 more Marcus Kolbs over to Martin University because we'll have so much work to do.
That would be fantastic.
So that would be
yeah.
I would love that. Yeah. Absolutely.
That guy's a hoot to work with from what I hear. So
he is. He's fun. He's fun. Well, every episode ends with a call to action, and Dr. Kolb already provided that to you. I will just reiterate it here, which is we are ready for candidates to make use of the transfer opportunities between Ivy Tech and Martin to take advantage of Martin Works and all that it has to offer, and to learn about Martin University. So if you know students who might benefit from a Martin education, connect them. You can reach out to Marcus at any point in time. He will help get you in the right place to work with Martin, or as we do establish that office in the Indianapolis campus, we will make sure that folks know where that is and how to get there so that you can direct students there as well. Thanks again for joining this episode of Our College, Your Voices. I want to thank today's panelists again, Dr. Marcus Kolb, Assistant Vice President for College Accreditation, Learning Assessment, and Academic Quality at Ivy Tech and Executive on Loan to Martin University, and Dr. Sean Huddleston, President at Martin University. I'm your host, Kara Monroe. You can connect with me on Twitter at KNMTweets. Our producer is Sarah Ferguson. You can reach us by email at ourcollegeyourvoices@ivytech.edu. Don't forget, if you're an Ivy Tech faculty or staff member, you can join our Microsoft Teams listener community. Our website, where you'll find links to our show notes, is ivytech.edu/podcast. Production assistance for this and every episode provided by Becky Campbell and the Ivy Tech Community College Creative Services team. Our podcast concept is by Matthew Pittman. The music and post-production services provided by Jen Eads at the Brassy Broadcasting Company, and we will talk to you next time on Our College, Your Voices.